talked about getting to FAMU, falling in love with it on your visit, and then getting there for school, being in the majority, like you said, just being a different kind of experience coming from high school. Talk to me about what it was like when you got there, getting on the court, and just your experience at FAMU.
My experience at FAMU, I feel like was a shaky one. I feel like it was a lot of ups and downs, mountains, hills. You know what I'm saying? FAMU being the seven hills anyway, so you feel me? That was like expected. I feel like my freshman year, I came in expecting, everybody come in expecting to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? And it made me like adjust because my freshman year I came in on the third on the depth chart at the point guard position. Um, so I was getting sparing minutes. I felt like, but with circumstances happen, situations happen. Our first point guard went ineligible. You know what I'm saying? So then it was just me and this other point guard, and then I just kept grinding, kept getting better, learning the pace of the game. Because when you go to college, that's the biggest thing you have to learn. Like from high school to college, is the pace of the game. It's a shot clock. Those are the two biggest things you have to learn: how to run a team at the point guard position. So I had to do all the. It's like it was more about being vocal. It was more about like telling people where they're supposed to be, stuff like that. But as the year progressed, went from like he was getting 30 minutes to me getting 10 to then like 25, 15, 20, 20. And then by the time we went to our the MEAC tournament, because FAMU was in the MEAC at that point, then I was starting as a freshman over like the redshirt junior that I was with. But before we get there, my first semester at FAMU, I was struggling. Like just the college life was a lot harder than I thought, because in high school you don't got to study. Like you could just, if you're a smart person, you can get past without studying. You could just get good grades, whatever. But I had to really, my freshman year, I was just out partying because it was like a whole different experience. Like I was the first time away from home. I was out partying. I was out doing what I wanted to do. I was living life, and basketball, my first semester wasn't going my way. So that was like a big battle. I feel like athletes don't talk about that enough. Like when basketball, like what you came for isn't going your way, I feel like that is a big like mental battle you have to go through, because there's people in your ear like asking you why you're not playing. There's people back home asking you why you're not playing. Like then you got your own battles because you thinking about why you're not playing, or you should be playing over this guy. So I feel like those are battles. So I was going through all that at the same time, and school just wasn't my priority because basketball wasn't going right. I'm used to being like at the elite level, and now I was back at the bottom. So I like almost flunked out. I had a 1.3 GPA. But then the NCAA got a certain rule that if you're a first-time freshman, your first semester, like you got to pass a certain amount of hours, and you can still be eligible even though your GPA under a 2.0, as long as you get it over 2.0 in the second semester. So almost got sent home. Coach told me like either you get right or we're gonna send you home. And then I had a long conversation with myself, my mom, and God, and then fixed my life.
For sure. I feel like that's some major. I talked about that. I feel like probably on maybe one of these episodes, I did like almost 50 at this point, about to be 50. I only talked about that probably once or twice, just mental health. That's something I don't ever like. I feel like it shouldn't be that difficult or like shouldn't be that hard to talk about, but that's something that I never want to just bring up first and like have people feel like I'm trying to put them on the spot or something like that. Cause that's something that pretty much everybody go through, unless you just the guy at wherever you are and you don't got to worry about like playing bad. I mean, everybody play bad, but like, I feel like that's something that everybody go through. That's what pretty much everybody going through all the time. Even if you playing good, like it's going to be times where you playing bad, you get hurt. Everybody, like you get injured. Injuries is a big thing. Just not playing the amount of minutes that you want to play, like not really talking to your family how you probably should or want to, like just being in your own world, in your own lane, like worrying about your own problems. Like I feel like that's something that everybody really go through. That's a student athlete, athletes in general. I feel like that's definitely major. I'm glad you brought that up because I feel like that's major for sure. I probably should start trying to talk about that more for sure.
Yeah, it's a big thing. Like just because when you first get in there, that's all you worry about. Like you got to excel at your sport, and then the rest of it will go and fall in line. And then when I first got to school, like I wasn't like going to school for school. I was going to school for basketball, and then learned to love school while playing basketball. You know what I'm saying? So I had to realize like it's things past. It's like I gotta get my priorities straight. And first I would like go into my little hole, like you said, just only like think about my problems and think about all the things that are going against me instead of think about all the things I'm blessed with. Like I'm a Division I athlete. I'm a full ride. I don't have to pay for nothing. Like I'm getting my school for free. When people been dreaming to be at FAMU for their whole life. They've been alumni times 3, like their mom, dad, aunties, all at FAMU. I'm going here for free. This beautiful school. Like I'm getting my school for free. Like things like that. I had to take in consideration. I had to take in all the battles I've been through, and then I realized like as long as I keep doing what I'm doing and keep grinding, like it's going like I'm gonna break through one day. You know what I'm saying? That was my biggest like revolution. Like I feel like once I got to that mentality, that's when I started to flip the switch, and that's when like it started getting on the better side for me.
Definitely. I think that's major for sure. Like I always tell myself that whenever I start to slip into that kind of thought process, I always tell myself like, just don't play the victim. Like don't be the victim. Don't have the victim mentality, because it could always be worse. And you always like you blessed, like you healthy, you alive, in school for free, like just playing basketball at the college level, like all that, everything that you said, basically the same thing, just knowing that you're blessed and feeling blessed versus like just being down on yourself and having a victim mentality. I feel like that's major for sure. You talked about battling for your minutes your freshman year. Talk to me about the rest of your college career, how everything went your last couple of years at FAM.
That's when it got a little more shaky for me. I'll say FAMU really battle tested me because I had a lot of adversity. Because my freshman year, everything ended off real well. Like I was starting as a freshman playing 30 minutes a game, and then boom, my coach that recruited me got fired. You know what I'm saying? They brought a new coach in. You know what I'm saying? And then when a new coach can come in, it's like you only like you there. Like they keep you there, but that's because they didn't really have their first recruiting class. So I was there my sophomore year, but we had 2 20-point game scores on the team that still was there too. So, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't my time to really be that guy yet. I felt like even if he didn't have a recruiting class. So I started as a sophomore like most of the year, but I got moved to like the 2 and because I don't know, because I was bigger, so I can guard more, and we had some smaller point guards, so I could guard more positions. And my point guard, my coach, my freshman year, he wanted me to strictly be a 1. Like that's what I worked on. So I moved to more of an off-ball role, and I feel like it hurt me on the court at the time, but now at the professional level, it helped me a lot because it helped me learn how to play off reads, slide the gaps, and it helped me a lot with my footwork. Like my footwork got real good because coming off of screens, knowing different footworks to use, to curl, to fade, things like that. And that was like the biggest thing I feel like I gained from that experience. And then my junior year came. That was his first real recruiting class. My coach got hired, and that kept me. So that was a real tough year for me because when you recruit somebody, you have already a certain amount of like belief and faith in their game. You know what I'm saying? So they were coming in with that belief and faith that he had because he recruited them, and I was already like me and him had our own battles, but that's what I'm saying. Like it was another adversity. Like it's just more of adversity. I had to another battle I had to overcome. So that was another junior year wasn't a good year for me on the court, but I never let myself get down. And I never let my school dip again. Like school was always going to be good, regardless of how basketball was going. And then on my senior year, that's when I really flipped the switch because I had this one coach, Willie Powers. He really made me flip my mentality on because at first I was playing, but I was playing like trying to stay in. You know what I'm saying? My senior year came, I was just playing, trying to stay in. I was getting about 15 minutes a game, but I was just playing to stay in. And I wasn't playing to mess up. And then he really told me, he sat me down one day, he was like, how do you want to go out? Like, it's your senior year, how do you want to go out? And then that just resonated with me. Like, you know all the plays, you know all the things to do. You can really like, cause he ran white team. And white team was like second team. And that's where I usually been just because I wanted to like imitate scout or just hoop. You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't have to be under a microscope the whole time if you're on white team. So I feel like I gained the most like skill from white team because I would emulate like Miles Powell from Seton Hall. Like we played them that year, so I was imitating him all week in practice. RJ Cole for Howard, he played for UConn now. Like these are players I was imitating on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? So we going against them, and John Morant, we played against Murray State. So I was imitating those players and just getting it, like I just get in my bag. So I feel like he told me, just said, how do you want to end? Like either you can get subbed out for doing nothing and just playing not to get subbed out, or you can get subbed out for being aggressive, man. You taking a shot that you work on every day. And if it just don't go in, you can live with the results because that's your shot. So ever since then, I changed my mentality. I changed my game. And that's when I went from like a 3 points per game average to like conference, but I probably averaged like around 15 points. I had like a 30-point game. Like that's when I changed my whole mentality forever, because now I still carry that to like when I go professional, when I do things like that, I just say, like, how do you want to go out? Because if I'm making the right reads and I'm watching film every day and I'm in the gym every day, like I work for all these shots. And if I feel comfortable shooting it, and if I don't, we're gonna go to film, we're gonna change it, and we're gonna make better decisions. But if I do, I can live with results no matter how it ends, as long as I'm in like doing things that within my game.
Most definitely. I think that's major for sure. That's something else that a lot of people probably, I know people deal with, just not getting the minutes that you want, and you just want to just be in the game and try to do everything right instead of just playing free. That's something I dealt with in college for sure, high school too. Like that's just something that you kind of just got to work on getting over. But I definitely feel that for sure. And shout out to that coach that helped you get over that, because that probably extended your basketball career by a good amount for sure. Just that talk and just you taking it and running with it, really, for sure.